Yes, I did put my hair up today with a thong. In case you didn't know, that's how Pam Anderson used to do her messy buns, so who am I to argue with perfection? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine. Today I want to talk about trends for spring. Maybe I'm a little too early to the game. I don't know. It is still February after all. I'm not sure if these are actually trends per se. They're more like things I'm loving for spring. But listen, I hate winter. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm ready to move on. So let's just get into it. This has been a trend for a while, but bows. I'm still loving bows. I do fear that like some of these bow prints are like verging upon micro trend territory, and that we'll look back on it in a few years and cringe. But I don't think so. And I don't really care, because in the meantime, I love them. They're fun and they're so cute. And I think if you want to wear bows this spring in a way that's like more interesting, like bow tie shapes, I think are really cute. Specifically like on these shoes here, maybe even actually wearing a bow tie. In your hair, big bows, like a big statement bow, I think is 100% still in for spring. Something I'm loving right now is stripes, specifically like red and white stripes, like a Waldo stripe. I don't know why. Something about the pattern on a t-shirt is really nostalgic to me. It reminds me of like the indie 2000s. That's kind of my era. And there's just something like really cozy about it. I haven't really worn a skinny stripe in a while until recently. I think maybe it was just like we were doing it too much in the 2010s and it became kind of like the standard H&M shirt. And now I feel like I'm revisiting it in this kind of like post-Tumblr way, and it's like grunge and fun. I wore a red and white striped shirt on Valentine's Day that I actually thrifted from my friend Erin from a pop-up that she hosted. And I think it was like originally just a Forever 21 shirt. And I love like giving an old mall shirt new life. That is like, I live for that. Like to take a piece that's not designer, but you can find a creative way to wear it so that it looks new and exciting and cool. Of course, there are fancy versions of it. Like this top is from Vivienne Westwood, but like we don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can find this literally anywhere. I think what matters most is that it's the right color red for you. So for me, that's like more of like a burgundy leaning red, like a warmer red, a rustier red, and that like it fits well. Bingo, it's perfect. I never wear tights. I kind of hate the way that they feel on my legs. There's something about them that irritates me. Maybe it's because I have really wide hips and I hate pulling them over my butt, and then they're really tight on my waist, and there's something about the fabric that I find really itchy, but I think they're so cute. I love a pastel tight. I love a lace tight. I love a fishnet tight. I feel like we've been doing this like fur trend for a while, like indie sleeves revival, and I think that's really fun. But for spring, I think doing kind of like a, you know, punk version of like a Marie Antoinette vibe. I mean, that's like exactly like a spring Vivienne Westwood. I just am so into that, and I might end up buying some. I don't have any yet, but I'm thinking like a pastel pink color tight, or even like a turquoise mint color with like heels. So cute. Should have organized this better. Gingham. A spring summer classic for a reason, and I don't think we're done with it by any means. I love a gingham pant in many different colors, but OG picnic red and white checker, I freaking love that. But also like a pastel, veering on like a seersucker texture. I think that that is so charming and classic, especially if it's in like a leisure pant fit. But I also love a fitted gingham item. I recently bought a gingham corset top, which I think is gonna be so, so cute as soon as it's warm enough to wear it. I think we're gonna continue to see the boxer shorts trend, and gingham works really well for this. In general, I think being like super cozy with like a pop of color is just like the general vibe for me for spring. Speaking of a pop of color, I love a red boot, like a random red boot. A knee-high burgundy heeled boot, a stiletto boot, a pointed toe boot, like a really strong red boot. Do you know what I'm saying? I almost thrifted a pair of like vintage Nine West knee-high leather boots in burgundy this past winter, and I didn't, and I totally regret it. Although I'm sure I don't really know where I would have worn that, but I mean, I just feel like I need it. And I love like the idea of wearing like a baggy jean and a t-shirt, a baggy jean and a t-shirt and like a heeled red boot. That is so like, just like makes a statement and elevates a casual outfit into something like a little bit more of a sleigh. Other shoes I think are still trending are ballet flats. You know how much I love the ballet flat trend. I thrifted a pair of Sam Edelman ballet flats in metallic silver with a little bow on the toe. I love them. I'm still getting used to like wearing them around, like walking in them, because I do get blisters sometimes, but I think this would be a really great thing to pair with your tights, your pastel tights. Like ballet flats and tights, that's the cheat code. But don't stop there. I mean, honestly, like I'm thinking about thrifting these in a bunch of other colors because they're just so freaking cute. Another shoe that I'm loving for spring is wellies. I've never owned like a proper pair of wellies, but I went to visit my family in the UK over the winter time. And if you know anything about the UK in the winter, I mean, it rains a lot. So I needed a pair of wellies and I justified buying a pair of hunter wellies, my very first. And I've just been wanting them for a long time. I think they're like the perfect mix of utility and fashion. They give that kind of, you know, Kate Moss, Glastonbury 2000s era. And yeah, it like adds like an earthy element. I live in New York City and it rains here in the spring a lot. So I'm really looking forward to having a boot that's actually not gonna get soaking wet and can also kind of add a little something to an outfit. Quirky bags. I'm really into a weird bag right now. Like an unusual bag. There's some that are in the shape of animals, some that are in weird colors with different embellishments, ribbons, ruffles, pastels, things that you wouldn't think would normally go together. I love adding a necklace to my bag or a ribbon to my bag, a bunch of keychains. Like I just think bags are such a fun way to show personality, and I'm excited to see how people do that in spring. I know we saw a lot of really fun, feminine, kind of coquette versions of this in the fall and winter, but I think there's a big opportunity for like silly and frilly girly colors in the spring and summertime. I actually thrifted an embellished pastel bag that I'm in love with that I cannot wait to use. And obviously there's like the designer version of this, but there's also the random bargain bin at the thrift store version of this. And I personally am a huge fan of something that looks like it was your grandma's bag. That's even cooler to me than the Dior. I know this sounds really weird, but I think we're gonna see a lot more of like a classic t-shirt and jeans combo, like a boyfriend jean and a little white t-shirt. I think that this is such a classic vibe, very like Jane Birkin, kind of casual it girl, model off duty, but also it's very 90s, very like minimalist. This is kind of where your elevated basics comes in, because it's gonna be really all about the way the jeans fit you and the way the shirt fits you. It doesn't necessarily have to be like good quality. I buy cheap stuff all the time. Like my baggy jeans are a pair of men's Lee dungarees that I bought from the thrift store for probably $3. And then for a white t-shirt, I just wear a Hanes Little Boys t-shirt in like a extra large, I think. I got that idea from Lainey Ozark. She's obviously one of my favorite YouTubers. Yeah, and I just think we're gonna be seeing like a lot more of this like understated casual look. I think if you want like some inspiration for like how to do this and how to like style it in a way that feels really chic, some really good examples are like the way that Sienna Miller and Kate Moss dressed in the 2000s. And a lot of times the thing that really like makes the outfit extra cool is like a really interesting belt, a leather belt with an interesting buckle, or a really cool pair of shades, and then like not much else going on. And it's like so random to be like a t-shirt and jeans is trending, but I mean like it's cool. I am also still really into slip dresses, but a specific kind of slip dress. I realized that like the maxi dress silhouette really looks good on me. A bias cut maxi dress silhouette made of satin or silk, very flowy. I think it's so elegant, this like waist emphasis. but it's not super fitted, it's not bodycon, it's just kind of angelic. I'm really looking forward to wearing a lot of those this spring. I actually just bought one from Princess Polly. It was on sale. It fits like a glove. I need someone to invite me to something that's semi-formal, but is not a wedding because the dress is white. So I actually have no idea where I'm gonna wear it. But one of the things I'm thinking is like maybe I can style it with like a campus boot or like a casual knee-high boot, maybe even a ballet flat like we talked about, and like a denim jacket or something. Yeah, I think it's just like such a stunt to like randomly walk around in like flip-flops and a satin maxi dress. Like, oh my God. Another version of a maxi dress I think is still gonna be popular is the nap dress. I don't know what else you would call it. I know the Hill House calls it the nap dress. It's kind of like a prairie dress. I think I would like to see the prairie dress with a little bit of like a lower neckline. There's something a little bit like costumey about the higher neck version, but I think that like there's a version of it that is maybe there, it has like a lower scoop neckline, like this one that Nicole Richie is wearing here. I'm really into obviously like 2000s fashion, but not like Y2K fashion. Really the kind of more alternative, understated, casual, indie fashion, I guess. That's really the time when I like started thrifting. And this is back when I was in high school and you could find like a Gunny Sacks dress at the thrift store, no problem. And I would wear them to school with like rainbow flip-flops and a denim jacket. And I love that that style is coming back. It's very much like a mixture of like 60s, 70s, 90s, and like the aughts. Like in general, just being like really eclectic. Honestly, there has never been a better time to buy your entire wardrobe secondhand. I'm just obsessed. In terms of other accessories, I'm really into like vintage jewelry. I always have been because I honestly don't really buy jewelry. It's usually just a hand-me-down from my mom. And I think that that's just like my favorite style, is kind of like a little bit of like a tarnished silver, interesting gemstones. Nothing too fancy, just kind of like earthy and casual, like stuff that you can wear every day. There's also newer brands that make stuff like this that I think is cool. Fraser Sterling is one of them. I think Petite Maman does like some seashell inspired jewelry. That is probably my absolute favorite, but I've thrifted most of mine. Flea markets are an amazing place to find beads if you want to make your own jewelry, which I love to do as well. And then lastly, I'm really excited to wear more scrunchies. I bought an eyelet one that is from Amazon, but I feel like you could make your own really easily. And this just kind of goes with all my other trends, like bows, ribbons, like weird accessories, ruffles, texture. I think we're gonna see a lot more texture and just like adding feminine elements in like a playful way. You know what I mean? So yeah, those are all of my kind of favorite trends and styles coming up for spring. I'm sure there's a lot more that are out there that I just haven't even really paid attention to yet, but this is the stuff that is appealing to me right now on my Pinterest. If you want to follow me on Pinterest, I'm Kat Dookie there. I'm also Kat Dookie on Instagram and TikTok, and I'd love to like be friends with more of you guys. Everyone's been so nice in the comments. This is only my 5th video now, so I really appreciate all of the support on kind of the beginning of my YouTube journey. Leave me a like, a comment, subscribe if you want to. It definitely will help me grow. And yeah, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.